In this video, we'll talk about another type of IELTS reading questions, which candidates often find very difficult, that is, true, false, and not given. We'll be looking at some examples and working out useful tips. First, let's start with a very basic example. Instead of a text, we will analyze a photo and statements about it. Look at the photo. You might know that this is a famous French-Polish physicist Marie Curie. Now let's look at 3 statements about the picture and decide if they are true, false, or not given. Statement number 1. The woman is holding some equipment in her hands. Is it true, false, or not given? Well, as you can see, the woman is really holding some laboratory equipment in both hands. So, it's true. Statement number 2. There are several people in the photograph. Can you see any other people apart from this lady in the photo? No, there is only one person. So this statement contradicts the photograph. It disagrees with it. So it's false. Statement number 3. This woman is a Nobel Prize winner in physics. Now that's interesting. Do you know that Marie Curie is a Nobel Prize winner? Maybe you've heard about it. But does the photograph tell us anything about it? No. Does the photo tell us that it's not true? No. The photo simply doesn't tell us about this statement. So the third fact is not given. Based on this primitive example with a photo, we can draw key principles of how to identify information. If the statement agrees with the text, it is true. In this case, we've taken a photo instead of a text. If it disagrees with the text, in other words, says the opposite, it's false. There is only one person in the photo, not several people. If there is no information on the statement, it's not given. From the photo, we don't know if the woman has a Nobel Prize or not. We can see that she's involved in a kind of experiment in physics or chemistry, but the photo doesn't give us any information on the prize. We need to answer questions in IELTS reading only based on the text. Now, let's look at some basic rules for true, false, not given questions in IELTS reading passages. The statements are about facts from a passage. They follow the order of the passage. Answers true, false, or not given may be repeated, but in one set of questions there will be at least one true, one false, and one not given answer. There usually are 4 or 5 statements that you need to identify. Don't worry if you see that 2 of them are true or false or not given. The only thing is that, as a rule, there should be at least one answer of each kind. There's a similar type of question where you need to decide if a statement is yes, no, or not given. How is it different? While true, false, not given questions focus on facts, yes, no, not given questions are about opinions and attitudes in the passage. So, if the passage is about Marie Curie, the yes, no, not given statement may sound like this. Marie thought that all people are gifted and must develop their talents. This statement is about opinion, not fact. As a rule, to find the answer to a true, false, not given question, you need to read only one sentence in the passage. But if you want to find an answer to a yes, no, not given question, you need to read more, for example, 2 sentences or even a whole paragraph. That said, the principles of identifying both types of information are the same. And when you transfer your answers onto the answer sheet, be careful not to confuse yes and true and no and false. Now, let's look at some examples from a passage about Marie Curie. I'll guide you through our action plan step by step. So, step 1. Quickly read the title and the text to get an idea of what it is about. Don't worry about the words you don't understand. This step is the same for all types of questions if they go first in the passage. Remember, reading for general idea helps you understand how the passage is organized and find the answers to questions more easily later on. You can pause the video for 1-2 minutes and read the passage. Step 2. Look at the first statement and underline keywords in it. Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner. We underline joint winner. It means that they won the prize together. Of both, not one, but the first and the second, Marie's Nobel Prizes. Step 3. Find similar words and synonyms in the passage. We use the same words, husband, Nobel Prize, to navigate the passage and find the right place. Then we read more carefully and watch out for the synonyms or the opposite meanings to choose the answer. Here we find that with her husband, she was awarded the 1903 Nobel Prize. So far, it's true. But the statement says both prizes. So we read further and see that she was the sole winner of the 1911 Nobel Prize. Sole winner means she did it alone. We've come to step 4, choosing the answer, and it is false. Now, why don't you try these steps with other questions yourself? Statement 2. Marie became interested in science when she was a child. Find the answer using the steps. You've already done step 1. Remember, the statements follow the order of the text, so now you can see the part of the passage that goes after the previous one. You may want to pause the video for some time now. Ready? Let's take a look together. The key words in the statement are became interested, science, when child. And what do we find in the passage? There is some information about Marie's good memory in childhood, so we are close. Then we read about her success at school, but there is nothing about her interest in science as a child. So there is no information. It's not given. Let's do the same for statement 3. Marie was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. This statement is a little bit more difficult in terms of finding the information in the passage. Pause the video for some time and find the answer using the steps. Are you ready? Let's check. Keywords in the statement are was able to attend, which means could go to, Sorbonne, because of, which means thanks to, and sister's financial contribution, which means money that her sister gave her. If we paraphrase the whole sentence and translate it into simple English, it will go like that. Marie could go to the Sorbonne because her sister helped her with money. We can go even further and turn the statement into a question. Did Marie go to the Sorbonne because her sister helped her with money? This trick can sometimes help you with more challenging questions. Now, what do we find in the passage? It says that Marie paid for her sister's studies. She, Marie, was able to finance her sister Bronia's medical studies in Paris, understanding that Bronia would later help her to get an education. This is important, and in the next paragraph we read, in 1891, this promise was fulfilled and Marie went to Paris and began to study at the Sorbonne. Which promise? That Bronia would return her sister's help. So the answer is true. Let's sum up what you've learned about true, false, not given questions. Here is the action plan and some tips. Step 1. Quickly read the title and the text to get an idea of what it is about. Don't worry about the words you don't understand. Step 2. Look at the first statement and underline the key words. Step 3. Find similar words to locate the information and synonyms to choose the answer in the passage. Step 4. Read carefully and choose true, false, or not given. Don't become co-authors of the text. The answer is in the passage, not in your general knowledge. The same words help locate information in the passage. Synonyms help choose the answer. When difficult, translate the statement into simple English. Turn it into a question. In one set of questions, there will be at least one true, one false, and one not given answer. We hope that now you know how to approach the challenging true, false, not given questions. Keep up the good work!